What's happening? Oh my god, oh my god.
Let me just fix this one flower. Oh god! What are you doing?
Holy.
No! Stop! Why are you cutting your hair?
Oh my god.
Why did I cut my hair? Why did you let me cut my hair? Okay. Where? Just on the side? No!
What is going? Wow, my ears. That was so much screaming. That honestly was a scene from a horror movie. That was terrifying. There was so much yelling. There was screaming. She was acting like she was possessed by a demon. If you don't like your hair, I get it. I hated my prom hair, and I remember like trying to fix it like right before, and I was like, I just have to leave it. You know, bite the bullet. Don't cut it. Do not cut it. Who let her have a pair of scissors in her hands? It's a risky game. Anyone doing something different in place of the garter and bouquet toss? Yeah, because I think those are so tacky. Anyways, I'm thinking to do a white rose giveaway to all my single women attendees to remind them they can maintain purity during the single/engagement season. What? Yo, I'm not going to that wedding. If you do this at your wedding, I'll literally just pretend that I'm not single. If you do this, if I hear you announce that you're doing this for all the single women to be pure, I'm just gonna pretend I'm with someone. There's no way. No way I'm partaking in this nonsense. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Top 10 Central. I'm your host for this one, Joce Bedard, and we are counting down the most entitled brides who ruined their wedding day, part 2. I've got a list of 10 more. We just crazy out here on our wedding days, apparently. Starting us off at number 10. So one of my good friends is 5'10", we will call her Elle, and my cousin and her cousin is getting married. Now said cousin is 5'11" and apparently has some height issue. She starts by telling my friend and her other 7 bridesmaids that no one can be taller than her and she'll be wearing 2-inch heels, so prepare appropriately. That's fine, Elle. Decides she'll wear flats. Okay, we're gonna fast forward. This is all about height. Bride goes into a rant about how it's her day and her version of this small request to freaking get over it. I'm skipped to the very bottom. As of yesterday, this is all about height and who can be taller. As of yesterday, she told Elle and short bridesmaid that they were ruining her day and that one of them had to drop out of the wedding party and that she would let them decide which one of them were a real friend to her and which one of them was a fake friend. Honestly, I'm so happy I didn't read that whole paragraph because this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I cannot imagine being like, no one can be taller than me, here's my height, there's my heels, you have to wear flats because you can't be taller than me. Is height really that important? Moving on to number 9. To secure your spot in our wedding party, the following things will be required. A promise to host a party at a venue other than someone's house. Your wedding gift must be cash/check of at least $500. You must buy me or blank, depending on which side you're on, day of gift of at least $100. You must attend every shower/party we have and will be required to purchase a gift for each one, value of $50. You will sign a contract that holds you legally responsible for meeting all of our requirements and says that if you do not, you will legally be held responsible to reimburse us for the time we wasted. Okay, I'm not going to this wedding. I'll tell you that. Like, who reads this and is like, ooh, I want to secure my spot in this wedding party? I would cut off a friendship with someone who sends me this nonsense. Coming in next, number 8. Searching for a photographer for my wedding, here are my requirements. Must be willing to do the job for free. Must have at least 8 years of experience. Must be at the wedding all the time, no breaks. Bring your own food and drinks. Like, who's gonna do this? Who is going to do this? If I have 8 years of experience, there's no way I'm doing a job for free. Let me tell you that. I've built my resume with 8 years of experience, so you can shove that up your butt. No breaks, illegal. Bring your own food and drinks, absolutely not. I'm eating the food they provide and the free bar. It's happening. In spot number 7, we have, I need you to make a custom centerpiece for each of the 20 tables. If each one could be a separate Disney villain, I would die. And oh, could you also do a cake topper? It's next week, but we finalized blah blah blah. Actually, Each wood carving takes approximately 3 to 5 hours of work. Painting takes another hour depending on detail. I could probably manage a cake topper, but definitely don't have time to make 20 centerpieces. I'm sorry. You're kidding. This is such short notice. What are we going to do? Then the person wrote, am I missing something? You just asked me now a week before the wedding. I had no idea you were planning on using my art. Then the person, the bride, is going off being like, I'm stressed, I'm the bride. They said, God, you clearly don't understand the stress and pain that it takes to plan a wedding, do you? No, but I also think you should have asked me way in advance. Okay, good. So they uninvited them in the end. Great. Worst coworker ever, uninvited. Worst bride ever. You can't actually ask someone to do that a week before your wedding. For every table at your wedding, carve a centerpiece. Are you insane? You do it if it's so easy. Cruising into number 6. Please arrive 15 to 30 minutes early. Do not wear white, creamy, or ivory. Do not wear anything other than basic bob or ponytail. Please do not have a full face of makeup. Do not record during the ceremony. You spelled it wrong. Do not check in on Facebook until instructed. Use blank when posting all pictures. Do not talk to the bride at all, in caps. Everyone will toast with Remy, no acceptance. Lastly, must come with a gift of $75 or more if you want to be admitted in. What is this, a nightclub? What do you mean admitted in? Is there gonna be a bouncer at the door? If I don't show my gift receipt, this is so stupid. Do not talk to the bride at all. It's like, why am I even there to celebrate the bride if I can't talk to her? It's so stupid. Halfway through at number 5. I met this woman once at a wedding where we were both bridesmaids. Apparently the bride told her my gift was generous, so she wanted me to be her bridesmaid too to cash in. That's a hard pass. I'm wondering now why her other bridesmaids dropped out. So literally, like, this person has no interest in standing in your wedding. They literally said, I'm not trying to be rude. I figured you'd ask one of your sisters or cousins. We've only met once at a wedding. So you asked this person to be a bridesmaid in your wedding because their gift at the wedding you saw them at was generous? That's weird. Like, that is so creepy in a sense. Like, I don't know you. Why would I stand in your wedding? Moving on to number 4. Friday and Saturday, June 18th and 19th, we will be hosting our wedding ceremony and reception. Please do not camp here. We have an entire guest list arriving for the weekend to celebrate, so if you decide to anyways, we will set up around you and do it anyway. Make sure you have a gift and a dish for the barbecue. Can you zoom in a little more for the last part? What is this nonsense? P.S. This will be a loud music late night type of wedding, so if you're here, expect that. There will be 50 of us. Thanks for understanding. Okay. That was so hard to read, number 1, but if you rented it, different story, but if you're just like trying to claim that as your own and being like, we're showing up here for my wedding, so don't camp here, I don't think that's how it works. But hey, if you were camping there, you would just get to basically wedding crash. Taking over the 3rd spot is, do you want to expand your skills in a new and fun field, meanwhile gaining valuable experience? I know where this is going. They're basically asking for flowers for free. I have one in a lifetime opportunity for you to work for these amazing solo wood flowers. I'm looking for someone to make some beautiful bouquets for my wedding. I will provide all of the supplies and you provide your skills. This is solely for you to expand your skills and gain valuable experience. Okay, I'm not able to provide any additional compensation. Yeah. I don't think you got contacted by anyone. That's gonna be a hard pass for me. Rolling into number 2. I'm exhausted, I'm bone tired, my heart is not the same, it's cold, fragmented, empty. I need to get away from this awful society. How hard would it have been to effing donate, friends? Do I matter to you? Just effing give me money for my wedding. I won't even sugarcoat. I won't even pretend that's not what I wanted. It was for a dream. I was stabbed, cheated on, and worked. Goodbye, see you in 2 months. Friendly reminder to you blank. Don't think you own me, I am cutting all of you snakes off. I am living my life alone. Okay, this is just stressful. I've never actually been to a wedding that was like cash only. I feel like that's so tacky. Alright, we've made it to number 1 and we have... Ladies, I'm one of those crazy people getting married during a health pandemic. Whether you agree with it or not, that's not the point. I'm looking for a DJ for my wedding. My budget is small-ish, and I've already spent most of it on my dress, dream shoes, decor. Yes, I'm that girl. Oh god, don't try to justify it. Alright, so basically they are DJs looking for work. This is what it is. Location. I have a good mix. I'm looking for a steal of a deal. Payment. which is nothing. So what's in it for the DJ? Free publicity. Great. I'm a town clerk. Cool. All right. We don't need to read the rest. So basically, wants to hire a DJ for free publicity because they're a town clerk. That's gonna be a hard no.
So who's that guy? Who is that guy that you met? Which guy? Are you whining us? He's just a friend. And you're kissing his.
Oh my god.
That's so embarrassing for him.
Yeah.
What about me?
I'm just wondering why the ex was at the wedding.
Right?
I'm sorry, but what is the ex doing there? I'm confused. How do you kiss an ex on a wedding day? Why is your ex anywhere near you on your wedding day?
And it kind of takes two people to do that. Like, why of all days?
The ex wants to show up.
Couldn't you have at least gotten that out of your system the day before? Like,
Maybe when you were dating?
that's an idea.
So with my wedding, were you still coming? Because I was thinking maybe you shouldn't. But you cried today just because some lady had a baby is just a bit dramatic and lots of people don't know yet because apparently you aren't ready to tell people. I think if you don't tell people, you shouldn't come. Like, I'm trying to be as nice about this as I can, but everyone will be asking why you aren't pregnant and I don't want them distracted from making me feel special. So the person wrote back, okay, I need a minute to process what the F you just said to me. So let me get this straight. You don't want me at your wedding because the fact that my baby effing died might ruin your day. Yeah, that's a bad one. Like what? What? What the f?
It takes a special kind of person to do
Right.
something like that.
This person would not be in my life. Like, I wouldn't be at their wedding day and they just would not be in my life after this conversation.
That is selfishness at its finest.
That's terrible.
What?
That's terrible.
You are a horrible person.
Absolutely. Like, not even a good friend, but like not even a decent human.
Just no. Bad. Bad all around. My brother's fiance went off on my mom in front of me and my sister when he was 45 minutes late to the rehearsal due to his best man's car tire blowing out. Where is your a-hole of a son? Dude should never showed up for the wedding. Not only a Bridezilla, but a total, utter sociopath. Her life is completely fabricated and her parents, who didn't show up for the wedding, called my mom to tell her the truth about it the day after. She had a rap sheet a mile long and a prison record, but my brother, who just wanted to believe that people can change, stuck it up for 7 years. Don't do that. Don't ever do that.
I mean, they said it best. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. Ever. 7 years? To stick it out for 7 years is a long time. To like really just be trying to get through it, you know?
Just this statement alone had a lot of red flags.
Yeah.
So to think of all the red flags that you must have seen over that 7-year period.
Yeah, the
and
prison
you
record
still wanted to marry this person?
set me over the edge there.
My God.
Desperate much?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Top 10 Central. I am your host for this one, Joce Bedard.
And I'm your other host, Brie Roome.
And we are doing another Top 10 countdown of entitled brides who ruined their wedding day and their grooms.
And everybody else.
Because they suck.
So bad.
We weren't allowed to talk directly to the bride. Her mom and maid of honor were the only ones allowed to. What?
What's the point of going to the wedding then?
Tell the bride congratulations, even though I see her right there.
Going to that wedding would literally be like the same thing as going to watch a movie.
Yep.
Like you can't talk to the actor.
That's the worst. And you're giving them an envelope of money or a gift.
You're buying a gift for someone you can't talk to. What?
That's crazy. That is the definition of entitled. So apparently they had to sign a contract vowing to these things. We wouldn't get any fake tans because no one was allowed to be more tan than she was. Also, no tan lines allowed. No false lashes. Her lashes had to be the longest. No teeth whitening done. Her smile was to shine the brightest. $400 bridesmaid dress and $100 shoes, plus $250 rented jewelry we had to buy on our own, despite the fact her family was loaded and I was so broke. That's, first of all, I'm not going out to anyone's wedding without a spray tan. I'll tell you that right now. I am not going to a wedding without a spray tan. You're crazy. That's crazy.
But what happens if you're already more tan than she is?
Or what if your teeth are just naturally more white? What are you gonna do? Not have me in your wedding? You crazy?
And the quota to meet for your dress and your
I couldn't
shoes
afford
and
that
your-
life.
$250 worth of jewelry. What kind of metal detector are you trying to set off?
Literally.
That's a lot of jewelry. Yeah. I was a maid of honor and her best friend and roommate, but since I'm ugly, she wouldn't let me be in any pictures.
Excuse me? Who decides if you're ugly?
What?
What do you mean? That's crazy. You were maid of honor too. Maid of honor. And it's like, too ugly. Excuse me?
But how do you have
What?
to like choose this person to be your maid of honor?
That's
So
just
how do you
insane.
choose this person and then decide, but you can't be in any of the pictures? What?
Put a bag on your face.
You can be my maid of honor. I feel like my sisters would be very bothered by that. But that's okay. Went to a wedding that was a dry wedding only. Okay, ew, that freaking sucks.
Nope.
She refused to let anyone bring alcohol and the wedding was in the middle of nowhere. The wedding was several hours before the reception. There was absolutely nothing to do. There was no entertainment, no food, no drinks. We had to wait 4 hours plus for them. Then the bridal party shows up and they had alcohol for themselves. Our entire group left.
As you should.
Bro, no food, no alcohol, no drinks, and no entertainment? What am I doing? Am I looking at the wall?
In the middle of nowhere. Like I'm imagining like the desert or something. and
Don't
you're
waste my time like that.
standing
Yeah,
on
like
the
let's
wall.
just look at the clouds.
Yeah, what? I'm sorry. You waited 4 hours. Good on you for waiting that
I
long.
would've left.
I wouldn't have waited like 40 minutes.
Yeah, I'd be out. Don't waste my time.
As
That's a
soon as I find out
waste.
there's no food coming, I'm like, nah. I used to work at a jewelry store. This young guy, college age, came in one day looking for engagement rings. Very polite, asking good questions. You could tell he'd been considering this for some time. As I'm helping him and showing him some of the rings in his budget, she walks in wearing a t-shirt from the high school senior class from the previous year,
Oh.
and she comes over by him. Oh my God, were you seriously considering that ring?
Oh.
It's so ugly. Besides, it looks just like my last engagement ring. How I wish I could have told him to dump her, run for the hills, and don't look back.
Bro, she's in senior of high school and she's already been engaged before? What the heck?
What in the life choices?
Yeah, what is... What? There's a lot wrong with this
There's a lot to
situation.
unpack.
I hope he ran for the hills
I
on his
sincerely
own.
hope so.
Be on your way. You have a long life ahead of you and you do not need her in it.
Wow. Entitled.
Forget her, man. You don't need her. You don't need that.
I was at the wedding of an ex-boyfriend several years ago and he had planned and practiced singing, that should say singing I think, a Frank Sinatra song to his new wife. He went up and took the mic and, with the band backing him up, began singing the song. Cute. His new wife suddenly stomped across the dance floor and up on the stage, grabbed the mic from him and said, "I hate that effing song and I don't want to hear it." They were divorced about a year later.
Why they weren't divorced about a minute later, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised by the outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Like, even if it wasn't your favorite song, let it happen.
You put so
Enjoy,
much effort into that.
Appreciate the effort and how sweet that is, and then in your head be like, I hate this effing song. Who cares?
Man, ungrateful, honestly.
Honestly, I'll marry these men for you.
Bring them
Rude.
over.
Just all of them. I'll be a great wife to all of you.
Wedding band member here had a bride flip her-ish at me and my bandmates because our instruments weren't white or salmon colored to fit in with the decorations, and she was saying we would ruin the photographs,
Oh my
even
God.
though I was playing during the reception and all the photos were already taken. A sunburst jazz bass, blue
Something.
and a red drum set aren't going to ruin your pictures, darling.
That's pathetic.
That's nitpicky.
If you hire a band, you'd be like, but it has to be white instruments, all white or salmon. I'd be like, okay, we'll find another band.
I mean, white you can find. Salmon? Very specific.
It's crazy. And it is not gonna ruin your pictures. No one's looking at the band. No offense to the band.
You are in the picture, they're gonna look at you.
Absolutely. I once worked in a bakery and we had this bride freak out that her cake wasn't right and proceeded to smash it to bits with her fist. She smashed the wrong cake, like WTF. Anyways, the cops allowed her to wash her hands before placing her in handcuffs. I felt bad for the future husband and the couple that ordered that cake. People are cray cray.
Oh my gosh, Bridezilla at her finest.
Yeah, people are cray cray. Can you imagine being the person who made that cake for hours and being like, first of all, you smashed the wrong cake, so now they have to remake hers probably and the one they smashed. Rude. What a waste of cake. That
I
pisses
feel
me
like
off.
that wedding just did not happen. Like, you got arrested to get married.
I'm just more concerned about the waste of cake.
Well, that too.
That's rude. I would have eaten it.
had a friend that got married to a girl that wanted an open relationship. This normally means we have stuff with other people while the other is not around. To her, this meant having another boyfriend move into the house.
Oh. We're like,
I don't think that's how that works.
I mean, yeah, like if he was on board with it, fine. But by the sounds of it, it's like
Definitely not
she wanted that.
Yeah, I
Weird.
mean, great for the rent because you get to split it.
But at what cost, you know?
I think I'd rather live alone.
Right?
No one's allowed to wear heels because she didn't want anyone to tall her. No fake eyelashes again. Okay, no fake eyelashes. They had meetings twice a week for at least 3 hours each time, 6 months prior. Oh my God. Everyone in the bridal party had to recite the rundown schedule. Oh my God. Screamed at all the bridesmaids all day long behind the scenes of the wedding day. That sounds great. That sounds like a good time. The minute someone tells me 6 months prior that I have to be at these meetings, I'd be out.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
What are you having a meeting about? That's what I want to know.
That's crazy.
3 hours. For what? Oh, there's so much nitpickiness. Some people just really should not get married.
Yup.
Honestly,
Or exist.
Throw away, throw yellow. Okay. I'm a wedding photographer and I see this all the time. Guests are forced to be in the blaring sun with no water or beverages. Brides don't think about the guest's experience. Usually by the time it's all said and done, the guests are often done after the ceremony and peace out after the meal. Honestly though, that's like kind of not surprising. I like get it because like obviously the bride and groom are like the focus, but at the same time, like I feel like my goal, if I was to have like a big wedding with like lots of people and stuff, would be for everyone to leave being like, that was a great wedding. Because like weddings can be so fun, but they can also be the absolute worst. Oh, just in the sun, no beverages. That's all I want is beverages. At a wedding, all the beverages. I've officially dropped out of the bridal party. I'm a size 12 with no plans on dropping to a size 8 by December. Just a few things to ask. I handpicked all the dresses and bridesmaids that will be there and they will all be a size 8. So if you're not a size 8, I recommend hitting the gym, no offense. What the hell? That's so weird. That's the weirdest thing. I also would drop out of the bridal party. Like regardless, even if I was like, what if somebody's like a size 6 or a size 4?
Sorry, we only carry sizes 1, 3, and 5.
Now they gotta wear a dress that's too big too? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
What reality you live in?
Not everyone is just the same size. That's weird. That's weird behavior. That's just weird. Like, why? 8 is so random too. I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say on this one. I would drop out too, just because that's a weird rule. I'd be like, who am I supporting here? Am I the for not giving my cousin Mike a +1 to my wedding because his girlfriend smells like eggs? Well, Mike just found out he's the only close family member not getting a +1. When he pressed me on the issue, I told him that she smelled. He yelled at me and called me some unpleasant things before saying if she wasn't coming, then neither was he. Yeah, I like do think that that's the move, like, cause she smells like eggs? I don't know, man. Why does she smell like eggs, first of all? But like, I don't think you should not invite somebody because they smell like eggs. And also, I understand why Mike was like a little annoyed by that, especially if he's the only close family member not getting a +1. Like, she's clearly being singled out and she probably wants to know. Also, I like don't blame people who, if they're going to a wedding and then they don't get a +1, like that's okay also. You don't have to give anybody a +1, like you don't want a bunch of randoms at your wedding, that's totally fine. But I also don't blame somebody if they don't get a +1 for not going because their spouse isn't invited. Like I also don't blame that. I can see both sides on that issue. Us, the bridesmaids, did everything from dragging 250 chairs and setting them up to hauling furniture down 2 flights of stairs, positioning it in other places. During the wedding, I learned that the bride and groom were trying to avoid all of the setup. Toward the end of the party, almost everyone had left and I realized that 2 of the groomsmen were so drunk that they were going to be useless and it would again be on the bridesmaids to clean up and put all the furniture back up the stairs. I went to tell the bride goodbye. Yeah, I can imagine. Like, I do get it as like the bridal party and stuff like that. And also like the groomsmen and all of that, like they should help with the setup and the well, I mean, should I use lightly, but like, you know, it makes sense that the bridal party helps, but like, wouldn't, also, I'm so hands-on, like I would be the one who's like there making sure everything's how I want it to be. I'm not leaving things up to anyone else. I would be stressed. I would be so stressed. I want to be involved. What if I show up and the furniture isn't where I want it to be? You know? I don't know, maybe that's just me, but that is kind of rude. I'm talking 5 solid hours of crafting for the bride's decorations at her house that should have been completed months ago. The bride was also super drunk and wasn't even being gracious about it. She was literally calling us dumb bleep. I never spoke to her again after I left her wedding. Yeah, I can imagine. If, like, weddings suck. Like, well, weddings don't suck. The preparation for weddings suck. It's a lot of work, so many little dainty things to do, like, you know, it's a lot of work regardless. Even if you have a ton of money and can just buy everything, it still can be a lot of work. Just like harassing your bridesmaids while they're helping you though, and insulting them and calling them rude things, just seems unhinged. Like, there's no like, oh, she was stressed, that can like cover this behavior, you know? So these 2 girls I know that have been friends for approximately 20 years are having, I acted out the little symbol there, are having their weddings on the same day, separate locations, and 2 different people, by the way. Okay. Bride A is having a surprise wedding and has invited all of her friends and family over for a late 30th birthday party where she and her beloved will tie the knot in their backyard. Invitation sent with RSVP. Bride B is having a super extravagant wedding of the century and sent out the invitations for the same day as their friend, Bride A, late 30th birthday party. And yes, Bride B is in the know and actually supposed to be a surprise bridesmaid in Bride A wedding. Obviously not happening. What? Why would Bride B do that? Also, a surprise wedding? I've never heard of that before. Would you be down?
Nope.
Would you be down for that? If I thought I was going for a 30th birthday party and it turns out to be a wedding, I'd feel terribly underdressed. I would wear very different things to those events. But like, why would Bride... I'm just gonna say it, I don't think they're friends anymore. That's like worse than like, she threw a party on the same day as my party. A wedding on the same day as my wedding. Not good. Am I the for telling the bride that it is too expensive for her bridal party to spend $2,000 to $5,000 for a bachelorette plus her costs plus pay for other bridal events? No, you are not. That's insane. That's insane. I totally get like some people like to go lavish for their like parties and all of that stuff, which is, you know, fine. But I feel like if you want to spend thousands of dollars on a party, you also shouldn't expect anyone else to pay for your own costs. And like you should keep it to just the one event. And you also shouldn't be upset when people can't afford to spend that much money. Like that's an insane amount of money for one party. And some people can, which is fine, and they should do that. And other people can't, which is also fine, and they should not do that. The groom sent every guest a mail asking who needed babysitter at the wedding for the night. I answered that we would not need, as we will have to put our 3 children to bed at 10 or 11 p.m. He texted me angrily that it was not acceptable not to stay at least until 1 a.m. and that he would prefer me not to come rather than us leaving the dinner early. First of all, who's eating dinner till 1 a.m.? Like, no way, Jose, I'll be hungry long before then. I told him that we wouldn't come if he preferred, and he immediately canceled my room booking. What a psychopath. That's just so weird. Ew, that's so weird. Also, yeah, sorry, I don't want a stranger that you've organized looking after my children. Thanks, but no thanks. Also weird, just weird. What if I don't want to stay till 1? Now I'm suddenly a bad friend because I'm leaving at 10 or 11? No. Thank God he canceled your room booking because he also canceled that friendship. My closest cousin, the closest thing I have to a sibling, has officially confirmed I won't be her maid of honor because I'm too fat for a maid of honor role. Have to lose some weight before December or no maid of honor duties for me. I shan't be attending the wedding. What is with everybody on having a weight limit for their wedding? This, like, is that not the weirdest thing you've ever heard? It's just so strange. I just feel like there's so many other things to worry about on a wedding day and like in planning a wedding. I don't even know how your mind goes there. It's just insane. Also, like, no, I love this person. Yeah, I shan't be attending the wedding. I love it. I wouldn't either. My friend is having her wedding this fall, but she can't afford it, so she is trying to get her friends to work for free. After a month of begging and repeated texts, I give up and quote her that the cake she wants will be $400. I was getting her a $100 gift for her wedding, so if she doesn't want the gift, I'll charge her $300. She got upset, saying she can't afford it and she's only willing to pay $100 for it. I lost my temper and told her she doesn't deserve a nice wedding if she can't pay people what they're worth, and hung up. I mean, it's true. I have sympathy, you know, for not being able to afford all of the things that you want. I can understand that, you know, that's not the best situation to be in. But also, your misfortune doesn't have to be everyone else's misfortune as well. You know, there are other ways around it. You can also just postpone your wedding and save up. You could just not have this big fancy wedding at all.
I'll never consider that.
There are just other options other than being a bad friend, but maybe that's just me and my opinions.